special prosecutor with Larry Klayman coming to you today with our daily podcast, the latest news, the latest recommendations on how we can try to save the country from falling into a further abyss of corruption. And when you talk about corruption, of course, the first name that always comes up is Hillary Clinton. Going back 20 or so years, I've been fighting this woman. I have a finding against her husband that he committed a crime when he released the Privacy Act protected files of a woman he sexually harassed in the Oval Office. The Clintons, the Bonnie and Clyde of American politics, committed over 40 scandals when they were in office, and they didn't stop. In the interim years, up to the present, they used their phony and fraudulent Clinton Foundation to raise hundreds of millions of dollars trading off government services and perks. When Hillary Clinton was State Department head, the Secretary of the State Department, to make huge amounts of money. And just yesterday, she said she can't quite get rid of the urge to run again for president. I wonder if she's getting rid of other urges with regards to some people she used to travel with, like Uma Abedin. But I won't get into that here. The issue here is the corrupt state of our country. And while the president can be subjected to a fraudulent impeachment trial, Hillary Clinton and her lovely hubby, Bill Clinton, and others, whether it's James Comey, whether it's Rod Rosenstein, whether it's Andrew McCabe, whether it's Bruce Orr, whether it's former intelligence czars John Brennan and James Clapper, are let off scot-free. Now, that's the reason for Freedom Watch. We are your Justice Department. We're your private Justice Department. We're unafraid. We'll do what it takes to get it done. We just don't get documents, as the group which I founded, Judicial Watch, does mostly. We actually use those documents for hard-hitting lawsuits and also for citizens' grand juries to have people indicted, tried, convicted, and sentenced for the crimes they've committed against the American people. We do all of this peacefully and legally. But let's talk about the impeachment that's going on as we speak today, because it tells you why you need a Freedom Watch and why you need, if I may say so myself, a Larry Klayman, someone who is unafraid, who will go against all the powers and the establishment interests that will try to destroy you. And they have every single day. It's like missiles are coming over the horizon with the left that wants to take me out, Freedom Watch out, and every one of our clients. But today, questioning is going to be posed in the impeachment trial. Now, I would say this was going to be a test into the integrity of the Chief Justice of the United States, but regrettably, as demonstrated in the past, he has little to no integrity. Will he allow questions to be asked that are hard-hitting? Will he enforce those questions that are going to be asked of the House impeachment managers, of Shifty Schiff, of Gerald Nadler, who yesterday they played a video, the Republican counsel, that in fact he says unless you have bipartisan support, you should not go forward with impeachment. It would tear up the country. Will they get into Hunter Biden? Will they get into their former colleague, Joe Biden, who is frankly even more corrupt than his half-wit son? I mean, how do you think the half-wit son was able to reap billions of dollars? You think that happened by itself? I mean, the guy is now being sued by a stripper, and he had to admit paternity, and he's driving around Beverly Hills in a $130,000 Porsche claiming to be financially destitute. Do you think this guy would be hired by the Ukrainian company Burisma to do work for it, given the fact that he's a former drug addict? Maybe he's still a drug addict. I don't know. I'm not accusing him of that. But obviously the guy is a lowlife, and his father is even bigger lowlife. He has that Cheshire smile, but that's about all that he's got going for him. He's senile. I don't even think he'll make it to the end of the primary season. That's in what bad shape he is. And I don't pray for his ill health or demise. But I don't see how the Chief Justice can avoid allowing hard-hitting questions to be asked. And frankly, I'll be candid. I hope that witnesses are allowed in this trial, but the Republicans are going to have to man up, which they haven't done in the past. They're going to have to subpoena or call in whatever mechanism is used is enforced by our so-called Chief Justice to get these people in front of the Senate. Because what's more important than the impeachment, and that will end, hopefully, with no conviction, is the rank corruption of people like the Bidens, the Clintons, the Comeys, and the rest of them. And that is why we at Freedom Watch are doing what we can to bring about justice. What we're doing is something that no one else is doing. My former group, they get documents. That's fine. You get on Fox News, but that's about all that happens. Yesterday, the president ripped Fox News and said it's on its way down. It is on its way down because it's become two-faced. In the evening, it puts on its host, but in the daytime, it trashes Trump. Now, it's destroying its brand, but it's also destroying its integrity with regard to people like Chris Wallace and so-called Judge Napolitano, a backwater judge from New Jersey when he ever was a judge. He hasn't been a judge for a number of years. And with regard to people like Juan Williams and Arthel Neville, who hate the president's guts. Well, we don't hate the president's guts. We're defending the president, because if this president goes down, this country is going down. Look who's coming up behind him. Hillary Clinton has the urge to run for president again. But even worse than dishonest and crooked Hillary Clinton are people like Bernie Sanders, a self-hating Jew. I'm a Jewish Christian, so I don't mean that in an anti-Semitic sense. But this is a guy who allows radical Muslims in Congress, like Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar, who committed immigration fraud, to support him. Linda Sarsour, a vehement anti-Semite, someone who, supports the Palestinians over his own people. This is the guy, the heir waiting. Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, Buttigieg, whatever his first name is. This guy's not serious. He'll say whatever he needs to say to try to get elected. That's one thing about our president. He won't say what needs to be said. He says what he thinks. And even if you don't like it sometimes, the American people need to hear it. And that's what Larry Klayman does. I say what I think. So I want you to support Freedom Watch. I want you to join our Justice League. I want you to support us financially. We're small. We need to ramp up. We need to bring more hard-hitting cases, more citizens' grand juries. We are your last hope in terms of justice. This Justice Department, under Attorney General Bill Barr, has done nothing. 2 criminal referrals from even an Obama head of the Inspector General's office at my alma mater, the Justice Department, for Comey. Nothing done. Recommended prosecution for Andrew McCabe, Deputy FBI Director. Nothing. Clapper, Brennan, the rest of them. Nothing. Because of this mass surveillance in Washington, it's mutual assured destruction. No one wants to do anything because they're worried about being smeared. And as I speak, Lindsey Graham is giving a press conference, giving his 2 cents. What has that guy done? Nothing other than talk. And that's the problem. So if you want to do something, join Freedom Watch's Justice League. Share this podcast each day. You can find it at freedomwatchusa.org. You can find it at radioamerica.com. You can find it on iTunes. You can find it on Spotify and Patreon. We need to educate the American people. We need to bring them together. Because as Ben Franklin said, either we all hang together or separately we will hang. And that's where we are right now. This country's headed down. The ethics and morals of this country have hit a rock bottom. It was John Adams who said, days before signing the Declaration of Independence, it doesn't matter how many times you change your government or rulers, without ethics and morality and religion, there will be no lasting liberty. And that's why we must rise up now. So go to freedomwatchusa.org. Join our Justice League. You are the superheroes. You are the people who must take action along with us. We must be unafraid. We must pledge our sacred honor, whatever little fortune we have, and our lives to protect and preserve the vision of our founding fathers. So until then, God bless you. God bless your family. God bless America. And God save America. And I'll be back tomorrow with another podcast.
Hey, Kev, the client needs that document ASAP.
I'm trying, but the internet is so slow. And now it isn't working at all.
Is your internet provider holding your business back? Switch to one who keeps you moving forward. At Cox Business, we know how crucial connectivity is to your business. That's why we give you the peace of mind of around-the-clock network monitoring and 24/7 support. So if your provider isn't setting your business up for success, make the switch to Cox Business today. Get 50 megs of internet for only $95 per month with a 3-year agreement. Ends 4/30/20. Restrictions apply. Visit coxbusiness.com for details.